Congressman Pat Fallon, a Republican from Texas, joins me now. Congressman, I got to ask, a lot of people are saying, you know, what Comer should do is just chalk up a victory and move on and forget the contempt citation. Other people say, look, the FBI is supposed to, Congress is supposed to have oversight over the FBI. That is the natural order of things. And to let him off, to assume that he has the power and the right to just decide which and when he's going to release a document cannot be accepted, and he should be held in contempt. What do you think?
No, there's no doubt, David. I mean, our job is to ensure that the FBI does their job. And we're in the Oversight Committee. Why? It's not the FBI director's call to say which Oversight Committee member gets to view these documents. And furthermore, we've now discovered that this isn't the only FD 1023. There are others out there. And so we need to view those as well, because all we've ever done from the very beginning, David, is go where the evidence leads us.
Yeah, and particularly because now we're finding out so much more from Comer than we did over years with the FBI. In fact, I'm going to play another soundbite from Andy Biggs, who was on with Maria earlier to that point. Roll tape.
I think Mr. Chairman Comer and the Oversight Committee has actually produced more and found out more in about 4 months' time than the FBI did in 6.5, 7 years.
So it really looks like they were avoiding this issue entirely, like they had the document and they didn't want to go there. What do you think?
No, I think that's exactly true. I mean, just a few months ago, David, we thought that we could only find $1 million that was provided and given by foreign nationals to the Biden family. Now that number is confirmed up to 10 million, and we suspect it could be 30 to 50 million additional dollars. And furthermore, what the Democrats and Jamie Raskin are saying, two patently false things from yesterday. One was Bill Barr did not shut down this investigation. In fact, he referred it to a U.S. attorney, and Rudy Giuliani has nothing to do with this confidential human source.
Yeah, no, I understand. By the way, we're lucky enough to have Jason Chaffetz here, who was head of the Oversight Committee when he was in Congress. Jason, I just have to ask you, I understand that some people think, okay, we should move on from the contempt issue. But again, Wray does not have the right to decide and pick and choose what Congress gets to see. He has to answer to Congress. There is oversight. You know that better than anybody.
It's an unclassified document. And so I'm glad that they got this far. And Comer's doing an absolute stupendous job. He's doing a great job. I find it almost comical to hear Senator Dermott and others saying, well, this is a political stunt. They haven't read the document yet. Yeah. Where's their curiosity? Why don't they go look at this? This is a serious allegation, bribery of the Vice President of the United States of America, and the media doesn't want to go see what's going on there? Are you
By the way, Congressman, do you think it's possible, and Andy Biggs said it is a real possibility based on what kind of information is turning up now, that we may see an impeachment on President Biden before the next election as a result of what's being dug up?
Well, there's certainly that possibility, because all circumstantial evidence leads to the fact that Joe Biden may be compromised. I mean, imagine that, the president of the United States being a national security risk to the country, because none of it makes any sense. That this doesn't look like the Biden family was in any kind of legitimate business. It was just influence peddling and access for sale. I
want to switch gears if I can, Congressman, because we had an interesting visit by a Democrat presidential candidate, Robert Kennedy Jr. He was at the southern border. He called the crisis unsustainable. It wasn't one of these Potemkin Village kind of visits by Mayorkas that we've seen so often. Let me just roll a bit of what he said and get your reaction. Roll tape.
This is not a good thing for our country. It's not a good thing for these people, and it is unsustainable. They're put on these buses, and they're brought to the Border Patrol station where they're processed. After 4 or 5 days, they're released on their own reconnaissance into our country, and most of them are never seen or heard from again. This is a humanitarian crisis because of the understanding across the globe that we now have an open border here.
Congressman, I've never heard a Democrat speak that frankly about what's happening at the border. Have you?
No, and he's absolutely right. An open border is an immoral border, both for the folks that live south and north of it. We have 4 million people, David, waiting to come to this country legally, and allowing mass unlawful migration to let those folks cut the line is patently un-American, and it's patently unfair. we have never seen a month in our history where we had over 200,000 illegal border crossings. And yet under Joe Biden, if you count the math the right way, it's 15 months in a row. This isn't even a crisis anymore. It's not a catastrophe. It's a cataclysm.
Yeah, it was nice to see a Democrat go down there and not just come out with another narrative. He was really investigating, and he spoke to what he saw. Congressman Fallon, great to see you. Thank you very much for coming in. Appreciate it.